Good evening from Cotonou in Benin. Welcome to What's Making News in Africa. In this edition, we will be visiting Cameroon, where celebrations of the Bilingualism Week will end tomorrow, February 5, 2021. In the Cameroonian constitution, French and English are the two official languages that promote linguistic integration, which has been a priority, though invariably hammered by political authorities since independence. Tunisia's President Kais Saied has stood firm in his opposition to a cabinet reshuffle, suggesting he would not let the 11 new ministers take the oath of office after Tunisia's parliament last month approved a cabinet reshuffle that deepened the conflict between the prime minister and the president. As Africa joins the world to celebrate the World Cancer Day under the theme, I Am and I Will, the world's government, scientists and medical authorities and practitioners battle to control the COVID-19 pandemic, as experts say the fight against deadly major diseases such as cancer is being slowed or hampered. Stay tuned as we bring the details of these stories and more. Good evening and welcome back. Celebrations of the Bilingualism Week will end tomorrow, February 5, 2021 in Cameroon. In the Cameroonian constitution, French and English are the two official languages that promote linguistic integration, which has been a priority, though invariably hammered by political authorities since independence. This report brings us more details. In the daily life of Cameroonians, the two languages do not mix well. When an English-speaking and French-speaking compatriot vice versa meet in Yaoundé or Bamenda at the level of public administration, in the street, in families or in the media, speaking both languages fluently is a veritable complicated history. Are Cameroonians really bilingual today after more than half a century of official bilingualism? The reality is limited. In Cameroon, in general, each citizen sees himself above all as an Anglophone or as a Francophone. The country is bilingual, of course, but the citizens are not. We very often hear this kind of criticisms in popular English-speaking circles. If the state was really serious in this option of bilingualism, then why this timidity on the ground? In the 1961 Constitution, French and English are the official languages of the Federal Republic of Cameroon. That of 1996 goes further by stipulating that the official languages of the Republic of Cameroon are French and English, the two languages being of equal value. The state will guarantee the promotion of bilingualism in the country and will endeavor to promote and protect national languages. But compared to this constitutional provision, on the ground, the policy of official bilingualism for 54 years has had mixed success. Not only does the law numbers give a certain premium to French by consecrating a kind of a marginalization of English, but above all, official bilingualism serves as an alibi for three failures attributably to the state Cameroon. The promotion of bilingualism is not carried out in the same way in all regions of Cameroon. The infrastructure allocated in schools in the urban areas is in no way comparable to those allocated in villages or on the outskirts of the country. However, it is evident that the public authorities' desire to achieve full bilingualism is clearly displayed for several decades. Beyond legal texts and species that promote and regulate the use of both official languages, the government is working to ensure that the practice of English and French is rooted in the daily lives of the population. This is the meaning to be given to creation and to bilingualism. The creation in January 2017 of the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism is in line with this logic. In its mission, this body is responsible, among other things, for ensuring compliance with the constitutional provisions which establish English and French as the two official languages of equal value and above all their use in all public services, parastatal organizations, as well as in any organization receiving state subsidies, to propose all measures likely to strengthen the bilingual and multiculturalism character of Cameroon and to popularize the regulation on bilingualism and multiculturalism. So many elements that show that bilingualism is sufficient and in Cameroon is not yet complete. Much remains to be done. All we hope for is for change to come. Lawmakers in the Democratic Republic of Congo elected a speaker loyal to President Felix Tshisekedi Wednesday after a string of moves to break his predecessor Joseph Kabila's grip on the legislature. Almost 400 of the 500 members supported Christophe Mboso, the National Assembly's Speaker and oldest member at 79, who left Kabila's FCC party in December to rally behind Tshisekedi. The election follows the ousting of former Speaker Jeanine Mabunda 3 weeks ago and the resignation of Prime Minister Sylvestre Ilunga Ilonkamba last Friday following a censure motion in Parliament. Both belong to the camp of Kabila, who was succeeded 2 years ago by Tshisekedi but kept a grip on power via supporters in Parliament. On Tuesday, a similar censure motion was filed against a Senate Speaker and Kabila Ali Alexis Tambwe Mwamba by a majority of the upper house of members. Tshisekedi's renewed bid to oust Kabila's camp from the Democratic Republic of Congo's institution was launched on December 6th when he announced that the end of a coalition with the former president's supporters. On to Rwanda. Rwanda's capital city will remain locked down for 7 more days, the government said on Tuesday, to further contain the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. The cabinet extended existing measures countrywide, including the current lockdown in the city of Kigali from February 3rd through the 7th. This statement was read and released by the Prime Minister's office on Tuesday. Businesses will now reopen on February 8 under strict guidelines as the government moves to ease the spread and the current measures to curb the spread of the pandemic. A ban on public transport will also be lifted. The government had in March enacted a countrywide lockdown that lasted 45 days. In a statement on Monday night, the government said all movements outside homes in the capital Kigali will require an approved permit from the police, except for essential service providers. Travel between Kigali and other provinces and districts will not be permitted, except for essential services and tourism. Tourists must have COVID-19 negative certificates. Public transport is also prohibited and all employees in public and private sectors shall work from home, except for those providing essential services. Places of worship and, of course, learning institutions and schools will also be closed, as the government has also increased the hours of a nationwide nighttime curfew, which will now start at 6 p.m. local time to 4 p.m. local time. Coronavirus cases are on the rise in the country. Officials said 61% of the new cases since the new year were recorded in Kigali. The country has so far confirmed 11,259 cases and 146 deaths, according to a tally by Johns Hopkins University. As Africa joins the world to celebrate the World Cancer Day under the theme I Am and I Will, the world's government, scientists and medical practitioners and authorities battle to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, as experts say a fight against a deadly major disease such as cancer is being slowed or hampered. That's slow or hampered. Details on worldwide celebrations and experience in this report. World Cancer Day is marked each year on February 4. The day is set aside to raise awareness of cancer and to encourage its prevention, detection and treatment. This year, the theme, according to the Union for International Cancer Control, the UICC, is centered around I Am and I Will. But the group says the fight against cancer has been affected by the focus on COVID-19 and neglect of cancer patients. With cancer patients being vulnerable to COVID-19 infections, the fight against cancer becomes even harder, this time as explained by Dr. Miriam Mutebi from the Union for International Cancer Control, the UICC, while noting that a considerable hit in all areas of the cancer continuum has affected all services, whether it's a diagnosis, treatment or survivorship, services that are available for patients. What happened is the World Health Organization conducted a survey in May during the early days of the pandemic and noted that out of about 56% of the 155 countries that had been surveyed had showed either partial or total disruption of their cancer care services. Also noting that the situation, however, can be saved if necessary actions are taken now, the pandemic has managed to stop everything in its track
except the cancer cells. Those are the only things that are still continuing to grow, so that's why it's a clarion call to say this should be a priority irrespective of whatever else is going on. Since the year 2000, cancer deaths have increased in Africa by 45%. According to Think Global Health, 500,000 deaths are linked to the disease each year.
Tunisia's President Kais Saied has stood firm in his opposition to a cabinet reshuffle, suggesting he will not let the 11 new ministers take the oath of office. Tunisia's parliament last month had approved a cabinet reshuffle that deepened the conflict between the Prime Minister and the President Kais Saied. President Kais condemned the absence of women amongst the new ministers and said some likely new cabinet members may have the right and conflict of interest. This comes as the COVID-19 crisis is weakening an already battered economy. In 2020, the economy was at a low ebb and shrank by more than 8%. Amid the cabinet reshuffle last month, hundreds had gathered outside the parliament over social inequality and police abuses. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying tuned. Remember, up next is Le Journal de 20. Until tomorrow, have a blessed evening and have a good night.